Greetings everyone and welcome to Collector Corps. Today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends series Cosmic Ghost Rider. Let's just get into this. And as I often do, I just want to quickly look at this background. Really nice. I love the orange on it, the red Ghost Rider logo. Really cool stuff. Would work real well if I had like a Ghost Rider display or even like a Marvel Knights display, but unfortunately I don't. So yeah, let's just get into the figure. And getting Frank Castle out of the box. This is a really, really neat figure, and I wasn't all too familiar with Cosmic Ghost Rider to the fact that I didn't even realise that it was actually Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, which, looking at the figure, and also when I was looking at the art, I was like, well, why didn't I realise there's a massive skull logo on the chest? But yeah, this is Frank Castle Punisher as the Ghost Rider with the Spirit of Vengeance. It's a very, very cool character, and obviously, he is then enhanced by the Power Cosmic, by Galactus. He is Galactus' Herald. And yeah, overall, it's just a really cool design. You've got the spiky pauldrons, which are a very neat idea. The glass casing over the skull, which is pretty neat. You can actually remove that completely if you don't want it, which I guess this would be more for a, he's on a planet with breathable air sort of thing. I love the flame effect, which is a loose piece. I think it is pinned in at the back, but it is a separate piece. You can remove that if you want. The skull is just like a pure red. Kind of reminds me of Red Skull, if I'm being completely honest. And yeah, just the details. There's some nice blue and pink, like, I guess, cosmic effects on the black, which goes all over. It's even up at the neck there. It's a very cool look. I love the rings on the wrist. It's a very different gauntlet design that I quite enjoy. And those can be rotated as well, which you do see that they are connected. I'm trying to get a better angle, but you can see that they are connected to each other. You can rotate that to the back if you prefer. Just, it's different looks. If you're someone who wants to hide away any of the connection lines, that is something you can do. And yeah, as I say, the skull logo on the chest, it's so quintessential Punisher, but it's also so spacey. It kind of brings in a lot of aspects of the Ghost Rider. It's a very cool look. And then metal legs. It's that swirly plastic that some people don't like. I quite like it personally for armor. And yeah, it just generally works. It's pretty clean. It's overall a pretty good figure. Going over articulation, we'll start at the head. I'm going to just remove the dome, but honestly, there's only rotation. It's just a pin. It's perfectly good, and honestly, I don't really mind too much, especially because a lot of the time I'm going to have him wearing that, and you can just repose him to be looking off to the side or something. It works well enough, but yeah, it is a little bit of a shame because of the fact they do allow for you to remove the head, or the dome, shall I say, but still, nevertheless, it's still a nice little thing that you can rotate it at all. There's any articulation. It's pretty good. At the body, we have crunch forward, crunch back, bit of hula hooping action from that because it is a dumbbell joint, which is very much appreciated. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately. At the arm, we have out. The pauldrons are a separate piece. They are just attached at the body, so do get out of the way. Pretty good, about 90. We have rotation, which is blocked slightly by the pauldrons, but overall still good. Rotation at the bicep, which is always appreciated. Double elbow goes most of the way. Pretty good, in my opinion. And then you also have a side-to-side hinge and rotation at the wrist. For a second now, I thought there was actually a rotation here. That was weird. It was because I rotated the bicep as I did that. I was like, what just happened? But yeah, at the leg we have out. That's insane. That's really good. I guess it's because there's not really much blocking it, but that's better than some Spider-Man. We have rotation at the thigh, which is always a nice thing to have. Double knee goes decent way. It's not great, but I mean, I've seen a lot worse, especially from, once again, let's just say Spider-Man do it worse. And then finally we have forward, back, and forward-facing pin for Rocker. And overall, when it comes to standing him, he stands up pretty easily. He's not the most ideal figure, because I think he's a little bit top-heavy, weirdly enough. But yeah, just with a little fiddling, he stands up pretty easily. Now, moving on to probably one of the biggest reasons most people want something like this, or just a Ghost Rider in general, the bike. Now, as I say, I'm not all too familiar with this version of the Ghost Rider, so I'm not too familiar with this version of the Ghost Rider vehicle, the Ghost Rider bike. but it looks like a hover bike. Essentially, just like, you know, a typical sci-fi hover bike. You've got an energy ball instead of a front wheel, you've got a jet booster at the back, and you do actually get a stand which is translucent and allows for some different angles. Pretty good articulation overall on that ball joint, but yeah, you can just remove that if you want. It does leave a bit of a hole there, but yeah, it's an option if you don't want it hovering. I'm perfectly fine with that though. You do have to do some assembly, the ball at the front as well as the internal. You might be able to see, actually I'll take it apart. This is all like put together, you have to do it yourself from the packaging. Same with the handlebars, are separate pieces which are on ball joints but don't have any articulation. But yeah, they just pop off or pop on depending on what you're doing. Rotation on them is obviously a thing because of that. It doesn't really serve any purpose, but it is nice to have. You do have to assemble the side, I guess, exhausts. And that's the same on both sides, despite only one of them actually needing to be put on from the packaging. Both of them are attached by default, or rather, one of them is attached from default, sorry. The kickstand is actually part of it, and so is the flame, which does rotate, but it doesn't actually come out, which for some people might be an issue, but for me, I think it's perfectly fine. And then finally, you may notice there are weapons in the sides here. They are removable, and they aren't attached in the packaging, but they do just pop on right here. There's not like a snap or anything, but they do just attach on, and they're pretty snugly. So overall, very nice to have weapon storage. Really cool vehicle. And getting Frank onto the bike, it looks pretty good. It is clearly, like, you know, designed for him and everything. It works really well. I really like this look. With a little bit more time, I probably could get him to sit in it a little bit better. As you can see, there's a gap. He definitely will sit. I've just not properly articulated him to get him in that position, but yeah, it works really well. I'm a huge fan of this look. Moving on to regular accessories, we have the two aforementioned blasters or guns, or whatever you want to call them, little pistol type things, which don't want to focus for some reason. And each of these does have a specific effect for them. So this one with the more exposed barrel has this effect, just snaps on pretty well. And, it makes a nice little effect on here, a bit of Kirby Crackle sort of look. Very nice. And then with the other one, you have this piece, which goes on a very specific way, which I need to quickly check, because there is a ridge in it. I think it's this way. It's really awkward. Like, I struggled the first time I did this, and I'm now really struggling this time. There we go, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, this just clips on like that, I'm pretty sure. And once again, I get a bit of Kirby Crackle, and both of these weapons just fit pretty snugly into the Ghost Rider's hands, or the Cosmic Rider's hands. If I can... The thumb is a little bit in the way, I'll be completely honest. But it does work. There we go. And overall, that's a pretty good look. You can have him flying off, just blasting away. And, it's Frank Castle, he has to have weapons. It makes a lot of sense. But then, it wouldn't be Ghost Rider without some sort of chain weapon, and this one is really well done. I like the effect. There's yellow at the bottom and also at the top, and then in the middle you have this orange flame. It works really, really well, and just fits pretty loosely, but still pretty well into Ghost Rider's hands. It works. I really like this look, and honestly, this is one of my favourite weapons for a Ghost Rider to have, the chain whip. Very happy with this. And then for comparisons, we have the Build-A-Figure, which one is it now? The Abomination, Gamerverse Iron Man, and then just a random non-Legends Toy Biz Ghost Rider, I'm pretty sure. This is the Ghost Rider that I have on the shelf. I don't have any other Ghost Riders, so yeah, overall, works within Marvel figures. And then, as always, we have the Star Wars Black Series Stormtrooper and the Jazzwares Fortnite Legendary Series Fish Stick, which, all works very well, as usual. And on that note, that is going to be it for this review. I'm really happy with this. This is going to go great when I eventually get my Galactus, and honestly, I think that's the biggest thing for me. If you're someone who is getting Galactus, you've backed Galactus, you've got Galactus, whatever, I can't suggest getting this guy enough. This guy is so perfect for a cosmic display, and also he is a Herald of Galactus. It adds to the collection of Heralds. I'm really happy about that. This is actually technically the first Herald I have in this scale, and especially from Marvel Legends, so I'm very happy with this. But yeah, in any case, that's going to be it for this video. So thanks for watching. like if you liked it, subscribe if you're new here, and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. I get a new review out every Tuesday and Friday, and if you subscribe, you'll see them every time I upload them. But otherwise, that's it from me, and yeah. Bye!